Hi, everyone. I am Tara, aka Spirit Mother. I'd like to welcome you all to my channel on YouTube, Spirit to Spirit Teachings of Going Within Self. And on TikTok, I am 1974 Enlightened Soul. Before I get started, because I know sometimes I get some new people coming in, as on TikTok, I don't quite know how to bring people in to join. I have to get somebody to kind of show me how to. My channel is about many things. I have hard topics on TikTok and sometimes on YouTube, small videos, and I'm actually doing like energy clearing and what have you, and codes and what have you. Today I'm going to talk about addictions. I talk about a lot of stuff that is very hard for some people to talk about, especially to like, because people would say, oh, what right do you have to talk about addictions? Well, I have every right to talk about addictions because I've been there. I've been on that spectrum of addictions, not only with food, but also with like a lack of food. But I've used alcohol, I've used prescription medications, I've used marijuana, all of which was to actually try and cover up a lot of what I've been feeling. I'm not sure what uncircumcised addictions mean. Yes, sometimes I wear glasses, especially if I'm reading. So before I get started, I'm going to read my description on my YouTube channel of what, like when I come live, of what I talk about. Okay, so it's like if you see my TikTok channel and I'm happy and doing things, well, I've embraced both masculine and feminine. And my life experiences is what has brought me to this, to actually look within, like find spirit, find God, find the understanding of myself, and to be able to learn not to judge others, but bring forward my story so others know, like there are other people out there that know how. Okay. So my description is, hi everyone, I am Tara, aka Spirit Mother, and I am here to wake people up to see how we've been treating each other and our earth. I am a unique type of spirit guide. I am a psychic, a medium, a channeler, a telepath, and an empath. I also speak and sign different languages, all of which can be very intense at times. And a lot of people can, like, you see that. I'll make you cry, I'll make you laugh, I'll piss you off, you'll hate me, you'll love me, you'll like me, you'll loathe me. But that's okay. On my channel, I talk about everyday life, the ignorance, greed, the hatred. I do it to get people to look within themselves and how we have been acting in life towards ourselves and others, including animals and life in general. Some people may not like what I have to say, whereas others may totally understand. Sometimes I may come off not a very spiritual person. However, I ask you to look within and see what spirituality really means. It is the enlightenment, waking up to the truth, the good, bad, and the ugly stuff that we don't like to see about ourselves, about the world, and about others. Sometimes we need a little tough love to be able to look within ourselves. I am the inner conscience, spirit. Okay, I am very connected to spirit. Um, it's up to people to be able to, like, um, we free ourselves by stepping out of the limited beliefs, by stepping out of the stuff that keeps us fighting. Okay, because that's what's happening. Okay, we go and okay, you look. Okay, I grew up and I was surrounded, like not so much my mother or my father, but I was surrounded by other people who were alcoholics, were even drugs. Okay. So I was surrounded by alcohol and drugs a lot growing up. Okay. And as I said, yes, I have used them. The first time I drank, I was 14, and I was angry with my mom. I was angry with something that I had gone through with my mom. So I went and I took what money I had and I got somebody to go to the liquor store and buy me alcohol. So I got drunk at 14, my first time. And then as I got older and what have you, and I got 15 and that, I left home at just before I would turn 16. And then I left home for like basically the final time when I was 16 and come back home at 17 for a bit, but got pregnant and moved back out. So growing up, I was drinking a lot because I was surrounded by it. It was easy to get. They didn't care if they gave alcohol to minors or drugs because it was just all there. So I would drink, and I would drink to the point where I would have alcohol poisoning and I couldn't breathe. They even had to take me to the hospital, and I'd be pounding on someone's chest because I couldn't breathe. And I know a lot of people have experienced that. I was 21, 22 before I got into smoking weed. But as far as drinking went, it was because you use an addiction to suppress a lot of things that we don't want to look at. And I know that there's someone in here trying to close me off because, the truth hurts. And people say, like, I know of people, it's alcohol or it's drugs, or sometimes it's even both, because they're trying to suppress things. And a lot of the time it can come from abandonment issues. It can come from abuse issues, and we try to suppress them, which, when you look at the system, okay, they legalize. Okay, it's up to you to use your own discernment. Okay, but they legalized marijuana, which, okay, but see, I hear people saying, "Well, I use marijuana. I use THC medicinal reasons." Okay, and the same people that say that, okay, I know of. I'm going to use one as an example and myself, because I used alcohol to suppress things. Then I used prescription drugs to suppress things, and marijuana, THC, all of which actually dumbed me down. And people say, I got no memory. I got no memory. I can't do this or I can't do. What are you taking in your body? Okay. I have someone that says that they're using THC for medicinal reasons, but yet they're sitting around using it recreationally. Okay. It's not the medicinal reasons you're trying to use it for is to suppress your actual feelings. I know, because I did it. And I could not get forward in life. When I was using it, I couldn't get forward. I couldn't move. I was stagnant. I hated everything, and I despised everyone. I blamed everybody else for my problems, but it was actually me. I was the one putting the alcohol in my body to suppress stuff that I didn't want to face. And not only, like, with that, it destroys family. It destroys you, and it destroys your family. And some people say, well, I don't care. Well, I guess, like, a lot of people, like some people, they end up homeless. They end up homeless, or they end up with nobody. And then what happens is they either, like, they end up drinking themselves to death, or they end up overdosing on medication. I know, because I've been there. I literally overdosed on medication. And I did it on purpose because it was the way out. I felt it was the way out. And when I see young people using it, and they're sitting in their rooms, and all they're doing is sitting in the dark, playing video games, smoking marijuana, or drinking. I use CBD, and I use it sometimes because it's the hemp. Okay, the THC. People say that the THC helps, but it actually only feels like it helps because it's suppressing. It's suppressing everything. And if somebody were to tell me, oh, what right do you have to talk about this stuff? What experience do you have? Well, hey, I have to say, like, I'm not going by a book. I'm going by actual experiences. And for somebody like who's actually been through it and they're judging other people for going through it, it's like, no, don't judge other people for going through it. Actually help them and show them the way out. Because they say about you're going to hell, or what have you. We put ourselves, we're in hell when we suppress our feelings, when we don't stand up for ourselves. It's like sit around home, and I would smoke dope. But see, back in 2013, when I stopped smoking a lot of marijuana, and I wasn't drinking, I actually went to university. And then I started going back to the bar because I was trying to escape my medical stuff, my medical issues, because I was in pain all the time. I was having headaches. I was going unconscious, and I just wanted to escape it. And right now, like right now, I know that I have a spirit or an entity or what have you trying to attack me because I'm talking about this. It's like, hurt me, you're only hurting yourself. But like, you're already hurting yourself. If you want to use the stuff, well, that's entirely up to you. But don't complain because you're not getting anywhere in life. Don't complain because you have no memory. And don't sit there and tell me that, oh, well, that's not why I don't have a memory. Well, yeah, it is. Go read about it. Seriously. And this is maybe this is why like part of the medical community doesn't put it out there, because a THC or CBD actually is what has the benefits, the medical benefits to it. And I know that because when I use CBD, it helps relax with anxiety, and it doesn't go in my head. It doesn't make me not want to do anything. And some people use harder drugs, and like I talk, and people can't stand being around people using it. And family members will actually cry for the people. And the people use it with the addictions, they will lie right to the people's face. But then they say they're not lying. It's like, well, not only are you lying to everyone else, but you're lying to yourself. And some people, they don't like conversations like this. But one thing I don't understand is you don't like conversations like this. You don't like serious conversations where it's actually bringing some truth forward with regards to ourselves and our actions and our loved ones and what have you. But yet you'll go and you'll sit and you'll watch the fucking news. Or you'll go and you'll watch all this other shit where people are getting raped on these programs, or they're getting like their lives are destroyed. I have somebody talking to me about people using these drugs where their skin is falling off and flesh. They talk about the stuff and the way people are. but they don't look at themselves. It destroys so many people. It's your choice if you want to use the substance, but it's like, you don't want your story. It's like if you don't want your story being told. But see, the thing is, there's a part of your story that's being told, and that's the addiction part of it, because it's not easy. I watched someone come off of hydromorphone, and it was not fun. This person was actually puking up bile because it screwed up their digestive system, screwed up their bowels. They couldn't eat, and when they did eat, they couldn't hold it down. And I'm serious, they were actually puking up bile. And I couldn't get near it because they were so hateful. Like, I'm dealing with a couple people, and I watched another person that's an alcoholic, but they don't admit to it. And it's the first step. I had, like, admitting I was in detox 3 times, the psychiatric unit about 5, 6 times or more in my life. And I kept going back to drugs and alcohol because the right person wasn't there. Hi. It's up to people if they want to share my video. It's up, like, I'm not looking for shares. I'm not looking for likes. I'm not looking for followers. I'm not looking for gifts or money or anything like that. Because people that really want to help people, that's not what you should be looking for. Maybe your energy, but hey, your energy is being siphoned anyways. A lot of people don't like you talking about this because it hits a nerve. Because if something bad happens in their life, they go to a drug. They'll even go to their doctor, say, hey, doc, give me a pill so I can suppress this. I don't want to look at it. And you know what the doctors ought to be doing is saying no. Like, it's people's choices. I know that. But when you continue to say about your life not going nowhere, you want to be your own boss. Well, you can't work, you can't be your own boss if you're full of substances. And it can, like, we can have food addictions, and not eating can become an addiction. And I know that there's someone in here trying to suppress it, trying to block everything. And it's like, it's only because you have the problem and you don't want others to know. Here. It's like these same people, they want help. And then the people that take them in and try helping them, and you keep doing the same thing. And it's like, wait a minute, like, if you're doing it and the person kicks you out of their home because they don't want it in their home, they're not kicking you out because they don't love you. Sometimes why they're putting you out is because they don't want it in their house. And they have every right to say that. They love the person very dearly. And they do anything for them. but it makes me cry. When I hear about young people addicted to stuff. I quit drinking a few times and I kept going back to it. I didn't drink at home, but I'd go out to the bars almost every weekend and I would get shit faced and I'd become very promiscuous. And then that would lower my self-esteem. I'm feeling other people, so if I'm crying, it's because I'm connected to somebody. Oh, it's like I had somebody say that I will never bow to you. Like, it's not about bowing to me. It's about surrendering to yourself, surrendering to your own truths, your own pain, saying, okay, I got to look at it if I want to get anywhere and be anything in life. And like you see some countries or provinces or what have you, and they're giving people the needles. It's like, here, I'll support your habit. It's like, what? And I'll say it. When we were in COVID, restaurants were closed, but liquor stores were open. Gyms were closed, but liquor stores were open, and a lot of abuse in a home stems from drugs and alcohol. Bring it, if it helps you to get through a day by hurting somebody else or inflicting pain on somebody else, then I got to say that that's probably why you have an addiction, because you were experiencing it yourself. And that's why you went through an addiction. Because it felt like it helped you get through it, but it didn't. It just left things festering. Because a lot of our young generations, and people say they're never bloomers or they're late bloomers or they're this or they're that or they're lazy or they're this or they're that. It's like, hello, have a gander. Like, seriously, have a gander at your home. Have a gander at your systems that you want to freaking bow to. Maybe it is a Saturday and people don't want to hear this, but I have to say, are you sitting on there watching the freaking news? Are you sitting in front of your TV? Are you sitting in front of your games? I'm not throwing shade on you because I was there. I had no motivation whatsoever. I just sat around home feeling sorry for myself and blaming everybody else for my problems. Maybe things stemmed from trauma in the beginning, but when we keep focusing on it, then it's really hard to move forward. And it's not like to help heal. It's not always about that the person can just, like go in detox and stop cold turkey and never do it again. If there's no other part within it to find out why the person has an addiction. I went and I seen, and I know of other people that went, and even people that go into jail or what have you. Like, there's nothing there. There's no help. There's no support. And anybody that tells me there is, no, there's not, because I've been there. When you're in the psychiatric unit, a lot of the time they'll see you, they'll take you in a room, And they'll ask you, well, how's your medication doing? And it's like, that's not helping anyone. You give them a pill. They have an addiction. And what do? You give them a pill. Oh, here. You're depressed. So I'm going to give you a pill on top of the addiction that you already have. If I didn't care, I wouldn't be coming on here and looking like an asshole or a bitch. I wouldn't come on here and tell my own life story. Well, maybe I am an open book, but I never used to be because I was always told and taught to suppress my feelings. I even had like about siblings fighting. Well, hey, I'm here to tell you, sometimes it has to do with the parents and they put the kids against each other because they favor one over the other or they just constantly talk about each other. They talk about their kids behind their back. I know that because I experienced it yesterday firsthand. I caught them talking about me. So it's like, what? And then the same person says about me hanging up on them, never hung up on them. And then they said, then they're the ones that hangs up on me. And then just today I was having a conversation and I was having the conversation back because that's what the conversation is. And the person started getting pissed off and hollering at me. And then when I started raising my voice, they told me, well, you keep hollering at me, I'm going to hang up on you. Oh, good. And I told them, good, hang up on me then. And they did. That's real grown up, ain't it? That's real adult, ain't it? And then I have somebody telling me, oh, well, because of the age of the person, well, okay, because of the age of the person, then shouldn't the person know fucking better because of the age? They are the fucking parent. And then you wonder why, and then people wonder why their kids are the way they are. Have a gander at yourself. Seriously. You taught them well, didn't you? It's like I said, like, it's like there's some people, I love them, and I'm going to say it because they say hate is a low vibration, but I love them and I hate them at the same time. And it's not that I physically hate them in that sense. I hate the way they are because they're hypocrites. And a lot of time it's a masculine energy, whether it be a person that looks like a male or a female. It's like nobody should be expected to take shit and abuse from anybody, whether it be a parent or not. It's like, hey, you expect your children to respect you when you show them no respect. I have to say, like the ego, ain't it? Like me, love me, hate me, loathe me. I don't care. Because see, the thing is, I love you, and I know what love actually is because I feel the love. And when you have actual genuine love, you feel peace, you feel others. I had an ego, and sometimes my ego will come in. But if my ego comes in, it's actually there to protect me in that sense because it's taking on a bigger ego that is trying to bully me. I've actually had, mainly in men, masculine energies that have bullied me. And when I was younger, I used to take on the bullies. And then I ended up, if you get bullied, like you get bullied so much, and they all come on you. It's like, wow, if you got to take that many masculine energies to go up against one feminine energy. Wow. But I know, like, I'm dealing myself, and I watched a reader, psychic, what have you, the other day, and they were saying about father issues. Yep, I have father issues, not only in this physical world, but I have father issues that go right back to the beginning. When you look, and it's the original father that tries to suppress. And I know that there's someone, an entity of being or energy or what have you, that is trying to keep this video from getting out to other people because I can see my chat. So it's like, I don't care because it's going to get through anyways. Because I speak it through the heart. And the heart is the magnifier. Choke me. Strangle me. Because it wouldn't be the first time. This is a spirit to spirit. And these are two very old spirits that will go back. I just got reading last night. Okay. And I wrote it down, and it was like, holy crap. Because I seen the similarities. And this feud, this masculine feminine energy fight have been going on for quite some time. And then drugs and alcohol come into play. They were using opium then. Opium and wine and beer and spritzers, using all kinds of stuff. So I went back to Isis and Osiris. Okay. And I looked, and Seth, however you prefer, killed Osiris. Okay. So I looked at the similarities, and I got like thinking. And then I thought of the movie Lion King. Okay. In Lion King, Mufasa's brother, Scar, killed him. And it was out of jealousy. And then told Simba that Simba was the problem, that Simba killed the father. So then Simba avenged the father's passing. And then I looked, and okay, so that would be Isis and Osiris had Horus after Seth killed Osiris. This is what I read, but I know like all truth will come as it comes, and I can see because it's like she was protecting Horus, and Simba ran away, and Isis hid Horus from what I was reading And I'll know more as I get going because I'll start waking up more. So then I looked at Cleopatra and Julius Caesar. And the stories were all so familiar. It's kind of like you look at the Bible, okay? And it all stems from family. And I'm not saying that a feminine energy is always innocent in everything. Because a feminine energy can be just as manipulative as a masculine energy. Kira tayo no kore ay tuyang, yesere aturi shara kisikutui. Kura kenya kare ameki era tu isle pinyoshli sukuam. See, I know this energy does not want me getting this out because I can feel it right in here because this energy does not want to look at itself. It's even like told someone today, like, you keep saying you got no memory. Well, this is why you have no memory. Like you're sitting around and you're constantly smoking marijuana, but you say it's for medicinal reasons. No, it's not. Do you take a fucking pill? Do you take a pill all day long? Every 5-10 minutes? Whether you're using a pipe or a joint or a bong or however you use it. Seriously. Unless you have an addiction. And people say, oh, well, like you can't get addicted to marijuana, to THC. Yes, you can. Because the same as pills. What is it? It's an addiction, but an addiction is a dependency. They just play on words. You become dependent on something. It's like sometimes a food. We get in a certain state of depression or anything like that. And sometimes we go to food in order to suppress that. So that's an addiction. But when you're sitting around and you're constantly using a substance, it's not medicinal. It's actually an addiction, whether you want to face the truth of that or not. I know, because I was there. Why do I use CBD? Well, CBD is actually the hemp part of the plant, and it has very little to no THC in it for the most part. And it doesn't affect the head for the most part. You actually experience it within the body itself. And like, like you say you have asthma or something like that, or you have an immune system problem or what have you, and you're sitting around constantly smoking marijuana, but you quit smoking, you're still putting it into your body. It goes from one addiction to another, and we say, well, it's not. Well, yes, it is, because I went to it. No, I don't use CBD all the time. I use it on days when everything is so intense, because being an empath, you can actually feel, like, I mean, a real empath, not like the ones that they say, oh, well, I can feel like a little bit of this. I can feel, no, I'm talking about an empath that feels it on an intense level, whether they're feeling the earth, like whether they're feeling the earth, the animals, the people, the atmosphere, what have you. You're feeling the collective. And when you're connected with the entirety of the oneness, of the whole, of spirit, you experience the pain of everything that experiences pain, because everything experiences pain, whether you think it's living or not. And when you go back, I'm actually getting a book on Iris or Isis and Thoth. I'm getting a book on that because sometimes in order to get past it, you have to go back and see the problem. What was the original problem? What originally happened? And it all becomes one wanting to be superior over the other, which it's actually not supposed to be one being superior over the other. When I see people, like my loved ones in that, I see them addicted to stuff, it makes me cry because I know what it was like. And then I watch, and like it was going on even before I was like that. And the things that they would do, and then they blame the other people for it. It's like if somebody leaves you because you have an addiction and you don't want to do nothing about it, that's on you. It's not the person's fault. And for you to keep trying to hold them there and keep them under thumb and try keeping them thinking that they're the problem and they're the reason why you're this way. It may be the original reason why you started. But you have your own mind. You have your own discernment. And we can't keep blaming other people for things that we did. That's right. Like I couldn't continue to blame my upbringing from my childhood or the way I lived through life or the experiences I had, because it was my choice that I was holding on to it instead of facing it and letting it go. I know that nobody is perfect, and everybody has done things that they don't want to face or they want to deny doing it for fear of whatever repercussion they feel or what have you. It's not about like so much as admitting it to the physical outworld as it is about admitting it in here. Because that's where you're going to see it, that's where you're going to feel it, that's where you're going to allow yourself to let it go. Because, like, if I could make things come true for my loved ones, the things that they want to do and experience, then I would. But as long as somebody has an addiction, I'm not going to put them in a position or like give them a position where it could make things get worse for them. Like if it was the financial gain or money or what have you, I wouldn't want to give it to somebody who had an addiction because they just blow it on the addiction. And some will say, well, that's their choice. Well, yeah, it's a choice, but it's my choice as to whether or not I'm going to help that person. Because I've said it before, God helps those who help themselves. And somebody, they wrote before, all pissed off at me for saying that, but it's true. God is always trying to help you. But when you know that God is, like, when you start helping yourself, you know that what God is doing, or source, spirit, however you perceive it, your higher self, because that's the part of it. And like, there's a lot of affiliations that don't want you knowing that your higher self is what actually brings you to spirit. It brings you to the oneness. It brings you to your abundance, to your inner wealth. It's what brings you to being able to manifest the things that you want in life. And I'm not talking about to hurt someone. Because as we continue to hurt other people, then we don't really, I mean, some people, they get off on hurting people because they feel that they're superior. And we're dealing with that within our systems right now. And that's what's creating these addictions. And it's a vicious circle. Hey, father, because see, if you ever look in the animal world, okay, they say about the father will try to eat the children or kill the child. If you go back, well, the sun, Cronus, wanted to get rid of Uranus to become king, and then Cronus was eating his own children so that they didn't go superior over him. Never read about like a father time, always just wanting to live so that they could be superior. And then having to know and be the one that knows everything. Nobody knows nothing. But aren't we a father? We're supposed to be a part of the father. If the father is the wisdom and the knowing. I have to say, like you said, it was Eve that ate from the apple, and the apple represented wisdom. Well, if the father is said to be the wisdom, wouldn't that make the father the one that defied God? I'm allowed to ask these questions. And it's like, I feel you here. I don't care if you like me. And, I know you're trying to suppress this video because you don't want to look at yourself. The same as I didn't want to look at myself. And I can feel it. And I can feel you right over my head. That's a spirit to spirit. And the thing is, no matter what pain they put me through, I still love them. I don't hate the things they do and say that I hate them. But it's actually the way they are. It's like, you tramp on someone, you step on them. If the person bites you, that's your own fucking fault. And I can feel it going through my body. See, some people don't come in because it's truth that we don't want to look at for ourselves. Because I'm going to say it, most people know at least one person with an addiction problem. And I know someone that had told me that their parents used to sometimes give them wine or something like that when they were young. They were minors because they wanted to teach them how to drink responsibly. Seriously? Not throwing shade on those people. But I'm saying seriously? And now look at now I have to say, look at your it would be look at your son. How well did that work out? Or look at your daughter. How well did that work out? It's poison, same as our pills. Like anything that like alters alters our perception in that way, unless it's natural, the kundalini opening, unless it's natural, then it is a form of poison. They say, well, magic mushrooms. Magic mushrooms are a poison, but magic mushrooms can actually help someone because they use them for cluster headaches and what have you. But if you're using something constantly, it's an addiction. And it doesn't matter to me if someone likes me or doesn't like me for what I have to say, because I didn't like when people was telling me this, I didn't want to hear them. It's like I don't have no, I don't. But knowing deep down that I did have a problem with something and I was using things to suppress myself, because it was better to be high or like high or drunk in order to, some people can't socialize without having some sort of substance within the body. And I know that this spirit energy, what have you, I know that they've blocked everything. And I have to say that, like, wow, truth hurts. It's like you don't want to look at yourself, but you want to talk about other people, because this person that sits around smoking marijuana all the time will talk about other people who sit around smoking marijuana all the time. And they even had a child themselves that had an addiction problem. I do have someone that does, but I'm not allowed to say, well, they say it. I'm not allowed to say about the relationship between me and this person. Let's just say I have stretch marks on my belly, and I'm not allowed, or I'm told that I'm not to say nothing to this person. But I can totally relate on a very deep level. And it goes so deep because it produces some sort of abandonment issues. Because it's like when one abandons you and then the other abandons you and leaves you with somebody who has narcissistic behavior tendencies, but wants to say that they don't, and then wonders why other people are the same way, and then throws shade on those people that are that way because of they grew up around it, and now I can't help that person. As much as I want to be able to, they won't let me, and everybody else, others get in the way of it. And by them getting in the way, they keep it going. It's like, you guys fuck off. And these are parts of things that bother me so bad. It's like, I'm going to say it. If anything happens to that person, you better look out. It's not a threat. Because I do hold a lot of anger with regards to all that. I hold so much anger. And I suppress everything because you don't want to live with yourself. Because you can't change decisions. Think what you want. I don't care. You're not me. You don't know how I feel. You don't know what I'm experiencing or anything. Well, I guess we all want attention, don't we? Spirit to spirit. I know what love is. And I know that I experience it all the time because you feel it. Like, I'm so sick of hearing people talking about other people behind their back and causing them fighting and jealousy. It's like, that's the fucking problem. It's like, I must say, does that person like conflict? And then want to say, oh, well, and then blame us for it? If you don't like kids, don't have them. Oh, wait, maybe you only have kids because you want to have somebody to push around. Not being rude, and I don't care how old somebody is. And that's the thing. People say, oh, well, this person's this old. It's like, I don't care. Just because they're this old or they're that old, it doesn't give them the right to treat people the way that they do and then expect not to have a brunt come back at them. And if this person that hangs up on me doesn't talk to me anymore, well, I really don't care because right now I don't want to talk to them because they just show how childish they can be. And the other ones, well, the ones that don't stand up to them, we're not the problem. Systems create the problem. And we end up believing that things are supposed to be this way. And this person that tells me nothing's going to change. Well, no, it's only not changing because you won't get the fuck out of the way and stop creating chaos and anger and hate and resentment and jealousy. And I won't be calling this person again. So if I never hear from them, well, I guess that's meant to be. And it's not throwing shame on anybody. If they feel shame, well, that's on them. Or if they feel hate, anger towards me, well, that's on them. I don't care either. Because obviously they don't care. Because if they did, they wouldn't be treating people the way that they do. Don't want your story being told? I already know your story. Maybe not all of it, but you know, it's the past, and I can feel this person because it's the same person that's walking out here, and they keep looking in. It's like I have to say, "Oh, and don't blame somebody else because it's up to you to let it go." And it's not about faking till you make it because you've been fucking faking it long enough. And you might not like what I'm saying, and I don't care. No more dramatic than you are, eh? Spirit to spirit. You like the attention. This is a spirit to spirit. Because I don't care. Like, personally, I don't care who watches. But this person, they care who looks up to them or who is whatever who follows them. But see, those people that look up to that person or what have you, they don't see. They don't see the truth. They just go by what you tell them. And they don't see both sides. Because sometimes you get others that will gang together. And I felt that here. And I know that they're blocking it all because my conversation hasn't moved. And we live in a world with 7 billion, almost 8 billion people. So I know what they've done. It's like changing the algorithms. And some people would say, well, like, why do you stay around the person? Why do you try to help the person? Because I believe that everyone, because I believe everyone is worthy of love. Everyone is worthy of success, abundance. The ones that think that they're better than everybody else, that feel like nobody should have nothing. I actually had a person, same person, they brought me a thing to look into. And later today, I will be doing a live video with regards to the climate crisis. And the same person brought this video to me because the same person has me coming on here to do videos. And I don't care if I humiliate or if people think that I'm humiliating myself. I'm not. That's your own perception of maybe you feel humiliated because other people like to reflect stuff back or reflect their own stuff. I'm not reflecting this at you or anybody. I'm telling my story, and if it's affecting you, well, I guess it means that it's something that you experienced yourself. The same as I experienced myself, the same as I didn't want to look at myself. I just wanted to look at everybody else and say it was everybody else that was the problem, when it actually wasn't really everybody else that was the problem. It was my own ignorance. It was my own jealousy. It was my own stuff. I did a video, a live video on my YouTube, Spirit Teachings Going Within Self. I did a live video on there. Decirlo ahí, no quiero que ahí no hay. Yo le hice de que estoy yeah. Right now I'm talking to spirit, because like I'm channeling not just things that I'm experiencing, but I'm actually channeling forms of, like, other parts of spirit that are saying, like, it's coming up because other people are feeling the same way, and they feel like they can't come out and physically say it. What is it? They say the 7 deadly sins. Well, I actually did a video with regards to the 7 deadly sins, and I put it in a format. With regards to the 7 deadly sins and what they kind of directed me towards, because people will say you're a sinner and you're going to hell. Well, I've been to hell and I'm coming back. I'm rising from it. That's what spirituality is. Religion is about being in hell and not wanting to go to hell, but we've already been there. And we're rising because we were wrongfully put there. A lot of us were wrongfully put there. And, people can throw shade at me or shit at me. I actually had an appointment to meet with a pastor. Okay? I was there about 10, 15 minutes early. I sat and I waited for them, and I didn't see them, and I went into the place, and I sat there, I got a coffee, I sat there waiting. And I waited for 20 minutes after the time was that we were supposed to meet. And the whole time I was checking my emails to see if they were canceling or anything like that. And no, they never canceled. I never got any email or nothing with regards to them canceling. So I left it. I called them no, because I'm here to tell you, don't get up in church and preach about how good you are when you have an appointment to meet with somebody and you don't show up. It's super good. I must say, shame on you. Like, you're up here preaching about what's right, but you're a damn fucking hypocrite, because sometimes people might have something to say that you don't like because it goes against what your beliefs are, or you throw shade on them, but you don't read your fucking Bible to realize that it's actually talking about the Kundalini, because you skip over all of that because that's what they teach you to do. That's a spirit to spirit. And you say you're of God? You're not of God. I know what of God is. And the true God the truity to it stands for love, compassion, and understanding. So that's why I tell people and like want to say to people, yes, there's truth in your book. But do you actually read the truth? Or do you actually just read about the fighting part of it that points fingers at other people? You know, every time I had it, and it's said to me, and it's true, every time you point at somebody else, you got those fingers, the rest of the fingers pointing back at you. And I'm not being rude, I'm not being ignorant. I'm actually speaking truth that, you know, a lot of people don't want to hear. But you go on your fucking news thinking it's all true. You go on this stuff looking at fear when I'm trying to show you truth so that you can step out of the fear. And sometimes I come off assertive, stern, aggressive, bitch, and asshole. And you know, if you get there and you just want to hang up on me or you just want to go off my channel, it's not to say you. It's because you have a shadow that doesn't want to face the truth. It's like, they want us to have respect for the truth, for the church, but the church don't have respect for people. And I'm not saying it's all churches, but I am saying that the church has been corrupt. The physical church that you go sit in and watch somebody preach to you and tell you that I had this same pastor that was supposed to meet me sit up in church and tell people, oh, well, you can't get to God by yourself. Or you can't get to God by being in isolation. Well, that's how I got to God. And some people may say, because I come off like this, they say, well, you're not very godly. Well, yeah, I am, because I had to face the darkness to see the light. And I ain't being cocky. I'm just fed up with the bullshit. And so is spirit. Parts of spirit. That's why it's come through. It's our ancestor. Like they're coming and saying, you know, like these people that are telling you this stuff about the self-healing, about the Kundalini, about like practicing yoga, meditation, and all that. I know I have a young woman that wants to talk to me about meditation, and if you're in here, yes, I want to talk to you about meditation, and I will be messaging you that. But I would like to actually be able to talk to you face to face, because it makes things a lot easier opposed to freaking texting and typing. Because, you know, half the time I just want to take the electronics and shove them like because they're not the actual technology. It's actually a lot of suppressing people, and there's a lot of propaganda on there to keep people fighting with one another and not knowing the actual truth. Well, you have the truth within you, and we're trying to show you truth, but because you're too wrapped up in looking in a book, or you're too wrapped up looking at the news, you don't have the time or the own discernment to use to say, hey, you know, maybe this person does have some truth to what they're saying. We never look at ourselves. We just want to point at everybody else and tell everybody else they're the fucking problem when we're actually the problems ourselves. Our ignorance just keeps us blind to it. Like, I'll show you a picture. This was inside an apple that I had just bought. Pretty disgusting. We're the problem. No, your systems are the problem. Your systems are the actual sins. Systems integrated into society. And I will keep saying it because people come to me and they'll talk to me about all of the bullshit that's going on within your government, within your medical system. They're not even trusting the doctors anymore, but they're still defending them. People coming in and telling me that my qualifications, because I got a certificate, they tell me, oh, well, that's just a piece of paper, but yet you're going to run to a fucking doctor that has a piece of paper? How's their piece of paper any better than mine? What, because they give you a pill? Or they cobble you just to keep you coming back for a pill, and I give you a little bit of tough love and some truth? The harder stuff, the actual stuff that we should be looking at. Then these people, some church people, well, I don't understand what you're saying. And they're real fucking ignorant about it. I gotta say, if Yeshua was in front of your face and he was doing the same thing, would you tell him that? Oh, wait, you already did. And, well, you know, don't like me, really don't care. You want to block me? I don't care. Do I got an attitude? You're fucking right. But not the kind of attitude you want to say I have. I was going in to get my glasses done. 4 friggin' times I had to go in to get my glasses done because I kept telling them that my lenses were wrong. But no, I was the wrong one. I was like, oh no, you got to get used to it. That's the way they are. They're right. You're the one that's wrong. You're just a problem child. Well, here's your fucking problem child. And I'm not a problem child at all. I'm only a problem child because I speak truth and I get in your face because you're wrong about it. I stand up for the people that can't stand up for themselves or don't stand up for themselves for fear of what the repercussions. Well, you know, that is you already killed me, you already burned me, you already freaking tried to rip me to pieces. There ain't also no other shit to try doing to me. How many more times are you going to try killing me before I start? I'm never going to stop coming back because we're here to free the people from the mental fucking anguish that the system's put on you. Just to get the point. I'm very appreciative and grateful for a young woman that comes into my life and she'll message me or something to just cheer me up because she feels that I just need a bit of cheering up. And she went through hell herself. Yo también. Vale, well, anyways, I had a thing where I put up about the 7 deadly sins, and I put it in order about the systems that have been integrated into our society that is actually the true sins. And it's like I said, some people they want to throw shade on me for it. So do I get pissed off? Yep. People want to say, oh, you're an angry person. No, actually, I'm not an angry person, but the spirit is actually getting pretty pissed off at people. Our ancestors. Because they're saying, why do you keep doing the same thing over again? And then wondering why nothing's changing. Our ancestors had it right. And people destroy things. And I have to say, the stuff that we say as our ancestors, well, that's us. Like, I have to say, is that actually us in the future? Did we actually, like, learn how to do that stuff? Because, like, you look in history stuff, okay? People are showing pictures about it and everything, where they're showing the old buildings that were actually built by our ancestors, that were built solid, that were actually built right, stuff that would last. You look at these friggin' old castles. Do you think it was people like us that friggin' built them? No, it was the Masons. It was like Yeshua, because you think that he was working with wood. Was there really a lot of wood? Because you look back and you see a lot of stone stuff. And I believe that he was working with stone, not wood. Whether anybody wants to believe it or not. This here, right here, that's stuff that was built solid. That was the people that knew what they were freaking doing. 111, as I looked on my clock. Addictions, actually, it's not just a modern, because addictions goes back in our ancestor times. And we modified it over time. Yeah, I'm trying to find it. I'm looking for, because like I said, I'm not very techy. Memory. Storage. SD card. Oh. Yep. Just have it somewhere. Because I did. I broke it down, a lot of stuff I break down, like up on my board here. I have about the chakras. Like, I believe in this actor stuff. Yes, oh shit. I don't know how. It does. It goes to show how tech savvy I am, and I'm not very tech savvy, because it's not the technology. It's not the technology that I like. My higher being, my higher self knows, because my higher self knows that we are the technology, our mind, our energy, and what have you. That's the trueness. And like, people are trying to get that out there in churches and other affiliations that want to have all the glory and be in the top dog. And and what have you, they try to suppress it. And it's like, um, aliens, extraterrestrials, it's all true. But we don't look, some of us, we don't look at that because oh, you're delusional and stuff like that. Go look at your history, go look at your artwork. They say imagination. Well, imagination came from somewhere. Okay? Imagination came from what you see in life, what you experience. And don't like me for saying that? Oh, well, say la vie. And I don't know how to find it. Oh, find accounts. The way. No, I don't know how to find it. But it's about facing your own demons, because that's what it is. We, we reflect everything out, and that's where our fears come from, because it's fear of something that we experience from a different part of our lifetime, because everything is in that and in now, and that's why we're experiencing everything in now, and everything looks so strange, and then people are throwing shade on people because they believe in mermaids, because they believe in unicorns and fairies and all this mystical stuff that you're told, oh well, no, that's not real. That's just fantasy, or that's just a myth. Seriously? Wow. Well, when like if that stuff is just myth, wouldn't the Bible be just myth? Why is the Bible true? Why is the Bible true, but everything else is myth? Don't like what I'm saying? Well, hey, I don't care. Because with me, for ones that get up and preach about something, and you stand somebody up who's coming to you to talk to you about spirituality, and you don't contact them, I must say, seriously, seriously, what are you afraid of? I think there's truth to it, and because of who you work for, because you're not working for God in that sense, you're working for a system. It's like when you sit up there and you say God wants your money, God wants you to give 10% of your income. Seriously? Seriously. God wants you to give 10% of your income when God don't even use fucking money. People do. It's God, not God, that makes you pay for life. It's people. It's, you know, some people say it's extraterrestrials, but it's just versions of yourself. Did you ever have really freaky dreams? You have dreams of what you perceive to be aliens or extraterrestrials, and you put them on TV to make them look all bad. That stuff does. It is actually real. Whether you want to tell me I'm living in fantasy land or not, I'm not the one living in fantasy. You're the one living in denial. Because if you really think that we're the only ones in this universe, and you think that the only thing to life was ever about just humans and friggin' animals and trees, all the animals are actually mystical. Some of those animals are probably actually people who can actually transform into an animal. Look at the history. Horse, a bird, the lyre is half animal, half human. zoology. I actually don't eat pig anymore because I had a dream. Like it was really, it was like it was real. And it was like I was in this place and there was a bunch of pens. And in the pens, it was not pigs, it was people. And they say in the Bible that Yeshua is supposed to cast them out into pigs. Did you ever watch Willow the movie? Okay, where there was an evil queen and she turned the people into pigs. Like seriously, if you don't think that magic is real, wow, you really need to wake up because everything runs off energy. And people perceive magic as energy. It's a form of speaking. Movement, words. They say spells. You know, you learn spelling, learn how to cast spells. Movies are casting spells. Do I see that? Yes, I do. Because for these people to be able to play one character and another character, they have to prepare to be that character. Well, they have to embody that person. They have to embody that demeanor. Some even have to get overweight to do it. Like some, like they're in a depression because they can't get out of it. Some of them are taking their own lives or said to be taking their own lives, but it's a matter of like, hey, did they start speaking truth? Did they wake up? Did they start realizing? You know, in order to see the light, sometimes you've got to look in the darkness, your own darkness, to see your own light, to pull yourself out of it. Is that what I did? Yes, I had to do that. And let me tell you, was it ever fucking scary? Because I didn't do it. I just kept putting, no! It was like when I was younger, whenever my family had a horror movie on, I never liked horror movies. Whenever my family had a horror movie on, I'd go like that. Or I'd put a pillow over my head. Because it's all about causing fear and scaring you. Go watch the movie Monsters Inc. Okay? Monsters Inc. The monsters were going through the closet doors and what have you to scare the children with their screams. Fear brings them energy. And laughter brings love. It frees the heart. It lights it up. You know, really? Ophelia, spirit to spirit. And if I look psychotic, good, you know, hey, it's like, oh well. The thing is, as long as I know the truth for myself, and I'm not going to say it on other people, because I know we all have things that we just don't want to come. And I also know that sometimes we experience things or we remember things that do not even always ours in this in this time of life. It's kind of something that we see and it's like stuff it plays out because we take on other people's karma. And I understand that part. And that's why when somebody throws stuff at me, I don't throw it back. Because the only way to stop the karma circle is to stop inflicting bad stuff on each other. You want good karma? Start putting good out there. That doesn't want all greed, ignorance, jealousy, or anything like that. Because greed and ignorance and jealousy, that's the biggest problem. Because when you become jealous, you'll do anything that you can in order to take something from somebody else because they that you don't. I have to say, I was listening to a young man that he was saying about because somebody had something posted on Facebook. He was saying, "You just fucking throwing it in my face. You're rubbing it in my face." What? You're not rubbing it in your face. If you're looking at it and you're getting jealous, I'm sorry, that's on you. Why the fuck do you want something somebody else has? Why not work to have the stuff that you want yourself? Instead of trying to keep up with the Joneses. Oh well, you know, spirit's gonna be heard. Because spirit will speak through everyone. In whatever way spirit needs to speak through. And it's a lot easier for you to just allow it to come up. Keep your hands to yourself. Thank you. Maybe it is that one. Wanting to run away from everything. And that's why I became addicted to stuff. I even stopped eating because my self-esteem was low because others were telling me I was too fat. And then when I lost weight, oh well, you're too skinny. It's like what? You tell me I'm too fat, then you tell me I'm too skinny. It's like seriously, people. When last you have a look in the mirror? People say that about shame and guilt and everything like that. Yeah, some people need to feel shame. They need to feel foolish. How do you like being treated like that? Like treated the way that you treat other people? You don't like it, do you? You play victim when it happens to you, but yet when you do it to somebody else, it's okay. Y si quiero poco de su poem, this person that brings stuff to me, it's the same person that will try belittling me in front of people. Will tell other people that I'm the fucking problem. Seriously? Spirit to spirit, and that spirit knows who I'm talking to. And like I said, it's the same one that says you have to speak their language, but when you speak their language back, they play victim on it. Through your neck, through your pocket. okay? How many times did you look at me? How many times did you fucking bully me? And I ain't bullying, I'm just speaking truth, bringing it forward. I have to look at my stuff. It's like, before we even came here, but you went against your word as soon as you did in marriage. And you say marriage is sacred. What? Only when it benefits you? Spirit to spirit, they see even a partnership. It's like the rules only apply, like you make up the rules as you go as long as the rules work for you. Fuck everybody else, right? Just to get the thing. And I do. I believe me, I know how I look because I actually feel it and I experience it. It's like the same person. They'll tell me that they feel like their family has no good luck. That they feel like there was a curse on their family and stuff like that. Well, hey, I felt the same way. So that saying, the two families, Sutherland and McCoy, I can't remember what it was. And it's trying to come through. It's like, what do you think we have to do? But two families. And one's a military family, and one's more of a free spirited. One wants to play army, and the other wants to be family. I really want to take all this army stuff, military stuff, and show you guys. Because they say, well, you need, in order to have peace, you need more. Really? Wow. Talk about ego. Because it's like, no. And then they want to suppress feminine, because the feminine is actually more organized. Women can get catty, or feminine can get catty, but have a look at the situation. Because I know feminine will make a masculine jealous, and masculine will try and make a feminine jealous, but I actually had a masculine tell me that they had to spread their house, spread their seed. Like I said before, a man can get 20 people, 20 women pregnant in an hour or more if they wanted to. But a female can only get one pregnant once in 3 months, unless there's a circumstance where, because it's been rare, but it's happened where you have twins, but the twins have a different father. I know that's, but look it up. See if the buddy up yesterday. Do people think that I really want to be sitting on here and bringing things forward all the time? Well, if it's what I'm meant to be doing right now, it's what I'm meant to be doing, and I will get to far eventually when it's time for me to help. But right now, I want to help people learn how to save themselves, to heal themselves, to learn how to have the abundance in life that they want for themselves and their families. Like there's a lot of times where I go through it, where I literally experience the feeling of people going crazy, smashing their heads off the walls and everything. And I can actually feel it wanting to come out in the physical world by using me. And I am the one in power of myself. So I just hold it and then slowly release it, whether it be just letting it go or just screaming for pain. But the pain is not in that aspect. Pain is coming from the depths and it's coming from the heart. And it expands into the body where it becomes you have to let it release. I was watching a video where one woman, she said about some people, we just need a rage room. And she's not wrong, because it's not only it's what you're experiencing, but you're experiencing parts of the collective, the consciousness. So you're experiencing it waking up, and it's like you can actually experience the earth expanding. It's like, just get into the and it's like, holy shit, my head feels like it's gonna blow up, or holy shit, I'm trying to run away from myself, but I can't get anywhere. But I've actually experienced when I was dying, I actually experienced it trying to leave, and I'm trying to follow it and bring it back until spirit told me, no, you can't. Just gotta let yourself go. And I am very proud and happy to be able to say that I am connected. And I had to go through hell just to figure it out, to realize what I was experiencing and then try to wrap my head around it and understand it. And I didn't have people on the physical. I had people on the spiritual, on the spirit, the connection, the telepaths, my ancestors, my family, the universe, spirit. It's just spirit, everything. And they helped me get away from my addictions. They helped me get away from my dependencies. Because a dependency is an addiction, whether people want to believe it or not. You become dependent on something to soothe you. Going through psychology, like counseling and stuff like that, that can become a dependency because you're constantly getting attention in ways. And I'm not saying it on a bad way, but it becomes a dependency. It becomes like an addiction. It's like coddling. That's my opinion. And that's what I got. And I felt, I'm feeling that. Like, maybe you're a psychologist or what have you. But, energy healing, teaching people meditation and yoga instead of sitting them in a chair and saying, here, take this pill. I learned how to continuously meditate on the go. But in order to do that, I had to go deep within myself and see everything, every part of all the parts of me that I didn't want to see. The things I've done, the things that I've experienced. And do I regret going through the things that I went through? No, because it actually was there to teach me things. People were there to teach me things. To see, like, to move away limited beliefs. And right now, like, I don't do a lot of thinking within my head because my answers are going to come from the, and then being able to bring forth different things. It's about finding wisdom and the compassion and understanding. And it's like the medical system should not be coddling addictions. They should be going at it on a deeper level. They should not be supplying them. They should be helping them overcome. That's 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 the biggest part of the problem. They feed they feed the addiction, and they don't do anything about it. And then that's when we get needles and like everywhere. Like, did you know it's a system that's doing it? It's hard to do it for them because maybe sometimes they hold something over their head. It's like I feel that. It's like I feel the pain right here. It's really bad. When you look at certain images, I don't care the color or what have you of what they portray Jesus, Yeshua, however you want to say it, to be. It doesn't matter about the color. That's just another thing to divide. The actual thing of it was that it was showing that he was stabbed on the side of the was stabbed on the feminine side of his body. And when you connect two together, it would be the masculine if they were side by side and overlapping one of them. It was stabbed here, but the masculine would have felt it here. Where they say the heart is the masculine, or the heart's supposed to, because it was the kundalini. It was the balance of the chakras, the balance of the man's masculine and the feminine. That's what brought you to the connection with the wisdom, with the love, with the entirety of the father, because they suffered. That's where you get the concept of Adam and Eve and
was always blamed that Eve did it, but yet when you look up about the masculine was supposed to have been said to him with the wisdom. Or wasn't it that they said about, like I said, the outward with the wisdom? But everyone, people, they'll read in the books and stuff like that that God was male. Well, God was neither, like spirit was neither male nor female because spirit was two spirited, masculine and feminine. And it continues to say that and bring it forward because that's what it is. And right now, it's that sublime's ridiculous. It's the far left, or the far left, or the far right, or what have you, which would be like far left or the far right, and it's finding the balance within the temple. Because you're the church, you're the temple. And that's why Yeshua said about tearing the temple down to rebuild it. It's actually the body. Da Vinci. And I'm starting to understand because I go through things. No, it's not by what I've watched. It's like when I've watched it, I actually experience things within myself to give that glitch of truth. And I'm feeling that. Like right now, my body, it's got like pins and needles from the bum up the bum cheeks, and coming up into the heart and up through, and it's like in the throat, and it's like there's a lump right there, and it's like you just want to vomit sometimes. And what that is it's like vomit of truth coming up. Sometimes it's parts of energies or what have you that want to suppress you, that want to throw a psychic tap, or they're casting things on you to keep you shut up. It's like and uh, I start classes. And when I went into a couple meeting parts, I told them like, hey, the professors or teachers or what have you, they're going to have to like record me and then get a language interpreter because I know that I'm bringing out a lot of information through the different languages. Truth. And we all have that because it's your life. It's your life that's coming to life. The truth. It's not a myth. And nobody like a lot of people they don't want to talk for the most part, or they want to give each other lip service because reason being because they want to go oh wait huh. They say hit now, talk later. Well, defend yourself. But, you can. It's not only like people that lie about you, the truth will come out, and then they'll look like the assholes. But see, it's that part of nobody knows what goes on behind closed doors. And this way that when this person tries to humiliate me, I feel like just punching them right in the face because they deserve it. But that's what they want, so that they look good. And that they can say, well, see, that person's the problem. When it's actually not that person that's the problem. You've just pushed them to a limit where you get what you got, what you would have got what you deserved in that moment. Like I know I've done things, and there are parts that I would like to have not have done it. But it was something to teach me something. And I know going through my own addictions was happening to teach me something because I kept going back to them. Yes, I used to smoke cigarettes. I smoked till 2008, and then I took Champax. Yeah, because I was taking pills then because I had to take a bunch of them. But I took Champax and holy heck, man. I took it for 10 weeks, but you talk about nightmares. But that was because I was cleaning my system out from the addiction to the nicotine. So I was having nightmares. I was having the sweats. It was bringing that out of the body. And it's not always about like having someone do it cold turkey because like you can, until you actually help them work through whatever it is that caused the addictions in the first place, then they're always going to struggle with it. They're going to struggle with that until they start looking at it and working through it. Can't say deal with it because I can't stand like I have somebody that says deal with it, get over it. It's like no, it's about working through it because it's a process. Sometimes it can happen quickly, and it happens quickly if you have that epiphany. But every time I see this person sitting and just lighten up every 5 minutes and saying that they're using it for medicinal reasons. The only medicinal reason you're using it for is to suppress your feelings. Because you're using it like cigarettes. It's like somebody who smokes and you're a chain smoker. And like I said, I will be doing a thing on the climate crisis because this person even brought to me with regards to the same thing about when they brought cigarettes out in the 40s or whenever it was that they brought them out. They were glorifying it. They were saying, "Oh, how good it was," everything like that. Super difficult. Yeah. I don't per se read cards, but what I do is I do one-on-one with people and I talk with them for things that they want to know about and find out why they want to know about it. And sometimes spirit will direct me towards certain decks of cards or what have you to kind of help bring synchronicities forward as to help you figure out why you're feeling the way you do or why you're asking what you're asking or why you're looking for a certain outcome or a certain answer because it's usually something that's suppressed within yourself that was from something that you experienced, and it's in here, it's in you, it's in your body, and it's a matter of being able to bring it out. Sometimes, like using cards, but it's like it's not about just reading the card. It's about actually connecting with the person on a deeper level so that you can help them figure it out themselves. But that's the teaching part of it. And in ISIS and those and stuff like that, the churches weren't there about preaching about worshiping one, worshiping in that form of worshiping a person. You worship it's your own body. Take care of your temple because if you're taking care of your temple, then you're taking care of spirit. So the churches, the temples in the physical aspect of it was used to teach people how about healing and helping people to heal. And that's what it was. And it was also part of, like, it's not about having a physical building per se. In 99, I was being overwhelmed with my own self. I was like, didn't know how to work through it. This time I allowed myself to connect with spirit and help to heal all parts of myself. And all parts of ourselves are healing parts of each other. And sometimes that's why you see people spontaneously heal. It's because that part of them healed. It's that asking ourselves the question of, why am I holding on to this? Why am I not letting it go? Why am I not facing it? What am I so afraid of? Because fear is actually the enemy. It is. It's like you start going through it, you actually feel the electrical current go through your body. And sometimes some people can actually feel like a transformer come off. It's like that shock. It's like a shock to the system. Good morning. Sometimes it can feel painful and like, no, I'm going crazy. But it's like just allowing it to go. Instead of it, it is a thing. And someone probably try to say, like that language is between you, between you and God, yeah? So if that language is between you and God or in spirit or what have you, then the language is meant to be out there for everyone because we're all here, you are all a part of God, you are all part of spirit, so it's meant for everyone. In that sense, basically, no, not just moving my hands. You just don't know what it's all about yet. One day you will, when you allow yourself to go and look within, instead of looking out there for the answers, because you're not out there. You don't think they are, but they're actually not. They're out there. Should I say that they're back? voy a traer yes, and should instead of coming back to the balance, to the center, to the oneness. Coming back to the heart space. También me hace bien, Ebony Ivory, you know, they want to love. Because they love themselves, So when you love yourself, you love God, you love spirit, you start to love and feel for others. And don't believe me? Well, that's on you, not me. Anything you want to throw at me, just remember you're throwing it at yourself. Basically, and lemon juice in the water. Yep. No, not lemonade, just water and lemon juice. Some would say it would be like lemonade, but it's actually like not. It's not all. So with that being said, I'm going to read a card. To laugh often and much, to win the respect of intelligent people and the affection of children, to leave the world a better place, to know even one life has breathed easier because of you. This is to have succeeded. We all perceive things differently, but I know what that's meaning. So with that being said, I'm sending you all much love, light, many blessings, most importantly, very good health to anyone and everyone wanting and willing to receive themselves. Which all to be big, bold, brave, most importantly, be yourself, be your authentic self, be true to yourself, be true to others. Be who you are, not who somebody says you are or you have to be. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and know that you have more strength and you are more powerful than what you give yourself credit for. Have a great Saturday. I love you all. See you later.